Affirmations. Are they good for you? Are they not? Well, I want to talk about today why I believe they don't work at certain times and a perspective on using them for you. Now, I've done a lot of affirmations in my life and listened to lots of people who talks about it and different ways that they've shared about it and what's worked for them. I'm always a student, always learning and then applying stuff, which is the most essential thing is of course, not just listening to me on the podcast or someone you hear, you've actually got to apply something from it as well. Now, what I've learned is with no emotion or action, it's actually useless, and that's why I don't believe they work, because if in those cases they can do, but like when you're just saying I am amazing, I am a millionaire, but you don't feel it and you don't go out and start creating ways of making money, then you're not going to believe it and it's not going to happen. So that's the problem I've had personally. I used to be like, I am happy, and I used to just do miserable stuff all day, and I just wouldn't say any emotion with it. So what I've discovered in terms of affirmations is there needs to be a level of emotion. There needs to be something you're seeing when you're talking about them. And also there needs to be a level of action as well as just saying the thing, even if it's just small steps each day. So maybe you've got a little bit stuck in there and you're really trying to move forward with that. So I want to give you some steps on how I personally found affirmations work so that you start believing in yourself more, you're having that more level of confidence, and you can move towards what you want, whether that's in your professional or personal life, by using affirmations. Number one, know what you want. Be very clear on what you want, right? If you're saying like random affirmations out of hope, like, are they aligning to where you want to go, right? So being very clear, like if you want to run a marathon, for example, saying powerful things like I'm a healthy energetic running machine, that's going to serve you. Saying things like I am a millionaire is great, but that's not towards the running thing. So make sure you know what you want, right? The second one, who do you need to be? Like, you know what you want, who do you need to be? What's the statement? What's the identity of the person you need to be in order to move towards that, right? So you say, I am a efficient, magnetic energy machine that always runs and trains hard and smashes his goals in running. So that's who you need to be in order to run that marathon, for example. And then the third thing is schedule the statement. Don't just write it down once and look at it. You need to schedule it in your day every single day and do it again and again and again for it to train into your body and have that level of certainty, which is absolutely essential if you really want to build an affirmation. And for it to work, you really need to say it again and again and again and train it into your nervous system to stick. My next point is schedule in the actions as well. So you're saying the statement, you're scheduling in, saying it with emotion, but scheduling the actions you're going to do. So if you want to be, I'm using running as an example for some reason here, but like if you're running that marathon, you then got to schedule in when you're going to run. So you saying I'm a magnetic, amazing running machine, yes, 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 for a couple of days, and actually not going out and then running for like weeks, right? Because your brain won't believe it's like there's no evidence that I'm doing those things. So scheduling the actions. This sounds very common sense, but common sense isn't too common, right? It's like when an alternative would be alternative example would be like saying that you're a multi-millionaire in the making. Great, that's amazing. That's certainly, I believe that's possible for all of us, right? But it's like then you just like sit down and watch Netflix for weeks. It's like your brain's gonna be like, no, you're not. Do you know what I mean? So when we become so unconscious to our habits that we don't realize what we're doing doesn't always serve us to where we want to go. So actually scheduling in the actions is really, really key as well. And then final point I would share is reflecting on it weekly, like reflecting, how are you getting on? Are you living? Are you breathing what you're talking about? And how can you make it more of you and who you are? And that's what really makes an effective affirmation for me, that makes me more confident what I want to do, by saying it again and again and scheduling it. So I'll just recap those points in order for you as we wrap up today. So number one, in terms of making affirmations work is knowing where you want to go. You've got to know where you want to go, because that leads to the second one. Who do you need to be? And that's the affirmation. Who do you need to be? Write it out as a statement. Write a few sentences. Don't write something too long, because you're going to get onto the third point, which is scheduling it and saying it again and again. And if you've got something too long, it's going to be hard to say. So scheduling at least 3 times a day for 5 minutes with music and intensity, who you are. The 4th point, scheduling the actions, like I say. No, you're saying all these things and powerful things if you're not going to do anything and actually get the ball rolling. And then the final one is review how you're getting on with your statement, what needs adjusting to who you are in order to really feel those affirmations and moving forward. So that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you for being here, and remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.